Believe it or not, we don't only consider ourselves woodworkers. We do consider ourselves artists. The fact that we could take a piece of wood and convert it into something that we imagine in our mind is so much more than just a woodworker. Unfortunately, with that, woodworking is an art that is being lost with time, but we're here to bring it back and show you the beauty within it. With 2 years of doing this and 1 year full time, we finally heard the words saying, "Oh, this is just a piece of wood." Oh, were they wrong? But we'll come back to that later. Now, let's explain the process a little bit behind how we do all of these builds and how they start off. First things first, picking out what wood we want to use. There's so many varieties of wood and they all have a different finish to them. So, depending on the piece and how we want the aesthetic to be, we go and choose the type of wood species that would match it best. We love to take some time before actually coming out to the shop to design all of our pieces indoors. Why do we do this? Well, even though it is time consuming, it does save us time in the long run. We come out with the exact design that we want, knowing how to attach everything, what species we want to use, the specific size, and everything that we need to know before we actually start the piece. For this specific piece, we wanted to build an extra large accent table for any sofa or living room space. And we wanted to have a little bit of extra storage, but still go through the theme of being very sleek and modern. The tricky part about building pieces that you're going to sell is being different, right? I think that's what social media makes us all want to believe. We have to be different. But do we ever stop to think that an item built by us is already different? So it's tricky, yes, absolutely, to know what people are gonna like, what they're looking for, or what they need. So with that, I believe designing a piece can be the hardest part about our job. We took a huge risk when we decided mahogany was gonna be the base of this build. Why? Even though mahogany is such a beautiful species of wood, it is extremely controversial. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. Now, we knew that the cedar accent leg was a must in this build. How the mahogany was gonna complement it, that's what we weren't sure about. But no matter how much you plan, woodworking will always surprise you. So after planing all of these boards down, we absolutely hated the cedar with the mahogany. We had a decision to make. Do we start all over? Do we use another wood species? Do we just lose all this money in wood? Or do we try to figure it out? But how? Well, if you know us a little bit, you know we always figure it out. No matter how hard, no matter how frustrating, we figure it out. So after looking through our garage, we found the perfect solution. But let's bring, I think we'll call him Mr. Wood back. So let's give you guys the story behind Mr. Wood and our beautiful encounter with him. So if you guys follow us on social media, you know that we try to participate in local events in our community, as well as different craft fairs. This has been a great opportunity for us to get our name out there and to meet fellow people from our community and interact with them. Jesus and I are both sitting under our tent. It was very, very humid and hot. Mr. Wood walks casually into our booth, staring at our most exotic cutting board, and says, $1.90? And smiles. I giggle thinking, ha ha ha, that's impossible. Then he goes, oh no, $19.50. I look at him very confused and say, I'm not entirely sure. Are you joking or not? Mr. Wood looks dead into her eyes and says, This is too expensive. Come on, it's just a piece of wood. Jesus and I looked at each other, a little bit confused. To be honest, it took us by surprise. We have never encountered something like this, and even though we knew the day would come, we never knew it would happen like this. So, let's get back to the build for now. As you guys have seen, we planed the wood, cut it down to size, glued it up, have come back a different day, replaned the wood, and now we're finally ready for the joinery, which truly very scary part. With the cedar leg being the accent of this table, we wanted everything else to have joinery around it. This will not only give a beautiful look to the table, but will also give a lot of sturdy and stability. If you have seen a few of our older videos, you know we use our trusty table saw sled. We promised, our fingers are not as close as it seems on this footage. Now, to attach all these pieces together, we use our favorite technique, which is dowels. We place the board that's going to be attached to the other, draw an outline, and use double-sided tape to mark where the holes are going to be exact. We don't ever really stain our items with color. We love to use Rubio Monaco, as you guys have seen in our other builds. But for this one, we decided to go with Indian ink in jet black to really cover the mahogany color. Since the cedar leg had a lot of live edge in it, we had to use a lot of black epoxy to fill in the gaps. So we thought painting these panels black as well, we're really going to pop up the cedar leg as well as give it an accent to match the epoxy on it. Now looking back at it, it worked out exactly as it was supposed to. By us painting all these panels black, the accent of the cedar leg is really what stands out in this piece. We let the ink dry, and that meant it was time to attach all of the panels together. Before we did that, we did sand it very lightly in order to give it one last hand when it was attached and fully seal it. So let's bring Mr. Wood back. After all this happened, he tells us that our business will definitely not thrive because he can buy everything that we make for less than $30. We smiled, and with that, we learned our job is not for everyone, and that is okay. You don't have to be for everyone, but there are going to be great people out there who are going to love your work, love you, and accept everything that you do because you do it. We had an amazing, beautiful couple not only love this piece, they loved this so much that they ordered 2 of them. So we had to make a matching pair for them and their sofa. So don't let anyone discourage you or tell you that your business is not going to thrive. If every single person in this world thought like that, there'll be no businesses nowadays. So, Mr. Wood, no, it's not just a piece of wood.